Good day, my friends, and how are you doing? I am Eric Anderson, and I'm back at it again with the next Metronome Beats app tutorial. This one is sticking with the drum set page, and today what I want to do, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to show you how you can use the Metronome Beats app to set up like the drum set rhythms that are very, very common in like worship music that's done, like Hillsong does it, Bethel uses it all the time, Saddle Creek or Saddleback or whoever it is. There's a ton of different musical operations out there in the Christian music space that have decided to get away from standard. Well, really, they've created their own standard of keeping time and creating rhythms, and they use the toms and the snare more so than the hi-hat. I would say there's probably like about a 50% split. Like pretty much in any given song, if the song starts off with a rhythm with the hi-hat, the bass drum, and the snare for the verse, it's fairly common for it to switch to like the toms and create rhythms on the toms and the snare in the chorus or the bridge. That's just a common way that they put things together right now. So I'm going to show you how you can set up your own rhythms with the Metronome Beats app. So now today what I have is I still have it set up as the previous video. I still have it set up to 4 beats in each measure, each bar, and each beat gets 4 clicks. So again, they're set up as though they are 16th notes. Beat 1, 1 eanda, 2 eanda, 3 eanda, 4 eanda. So today what we're going to do here is we're going to start with just the snare drum on beat 4. So right now you can't 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So that's what we're going to start with. So typically what's fairly commonly heard, at least that I hear in the music, when there's toms that are being used to create the rhythm in worship music, they'll put the bass drum will usually be on the beat. That's a fairly common part of the methodology, right? Then you get this, right? And I'm just going to put one together, and maybe I'll kind of tinker around with a couple of other ideas. It's pretty common to like hear the floor tom on beat 1. And then maybe you'll hear the high tom, this HT, you'll hear it on the of 1. And then you'll hear the middle tom on the and of 2. And then you may hear the floor tom on 3. Let me try that again. And you might even hear it on the and of 3 as well. Or you might hear it instead on the of 3. And you might even hear but typically in worship music, the tom rhythms don't get too busy. There's not like a ton of activity in them because they're predominantly a rhythmic idea more so than like this gratuitous fill to show off the drummer's mad skills. They usually do a really good job of staying out of the way of the vocals and letting the vocals come through and send the message out. So we can kind of back this off a little bit, go back to the fundamentals. And you could even do this, like it's common to go backwards. Let me try that again, where they go up the toms instead of down the toms. That's on the one, the of one, and the and of two. And then maybe they'll throw in something like, or you can throw in something like this. How about this? The and the of three. I'm going to move this down to the middle tom instead. And then we'll put this here. We'll put the and the of 4 on the floor tom. And maybe even leave this out altogether. And there you go. I mean, that's really kind of how to play around with, I got the bass drum in there. I left the snare drum on 4. More so as just a point of reference for this video. You can move this snare around just as much as anything else. And then I worked with the low tom, which is typically your floor tom, the mid tom, and the high tom. Like, this is really set up as like a 5-piece drum set. That's like the orchestration of this. You can certainly get away with a lot of this on larger and smaller drum sets, and the rhythms will still come through without a problem. So that's how you set up rhythms in Metronome Beats apps. In the Metronome Beats app with the drum set feature. And these are the rhythms that you would set up that actually rely heavily on the toms as opposed to the ride cymbal and the hi-hat and just the snare and the bass drum, which is pretty standard. So there you go. And it's not limited to worship music either. I mean, I've certainly heard these rhythms in, like, you know, you hear this stuff and what is it, a Van Halen's Ain't Talking About Love. That's how, no, it's not that one. Everybody Wants Some from the Women and Children First album. Alex starts off on the drums, and it just starts off with a rhythm that's somewhere in the ballpark of this. If you were to go and listen to that rhythm, you could map that rhythm out on the Metronome Beats app, and then you can grab your guitar and you can start to shred like Eddie does. So it certainly is not limited to the Christian music space. So with all that being said, my friends, I'm going to get out of here for the day. Again, likes are cool. You know, I'd love to have those. The subscribes, definitely. I got a couple of extra subscribers here recently, so I'm pretty excited about that. I hope you do the same. Along with that, is share it with other people that could benefit from this. And definitely leave comments down below. Maybe you got a question, or maybe there's a drum track that you're trying to figure out that I might be able to set up on the Metronome Beats app and do a tutorial for you. If that's the case, just leave it in the comments down below, name, artist, and the section of the song, like, hey, can you help me out, figure out, well, Alex Van Halen's, what's that song that I called out? Everybody Wants Some, the intro tom rhythm. And I'll do the best that I can sit down and try to map it out as well as I can on the Metronome Beats app, and then do a tutorial and let you see how it's done. So that's it, my friends. I'm out. Y'all take care, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.